Hi everybody, it's Webflow Joe with an Finsweet Webflow Hack. In this hack, we learn how to use a GIF as a preloader and then only show that preloader once per day. Let's see how it works. We're in the live example, and if I were to reload this page, I'm not going to see any animation. The reason is I've been here before and the page recognizes that. If I were to clear my 24-hour cookie and then reload the page, I will see the GIF animation. And if I were to then reload the page again, I'm not going to see it. Clear the cookie, then reload, and I see it. This is a great way to not overwhelm your user with an animation every time they load the page. Also, sometimes a GIF animation is necessary. That animation is either not possible in IX2 or would take hours and hours and hours. So sometimes a GIF is necessary and sometimes you only want them to see it once. In Designer, we're going to apply two classes to page elements. First, we're going to put a class on the loading wrapper. Here we have Hack6 loading wrapper. Then we're going to put a class on the GIF inside of the loading wrapper. And here we have Hack6 GIF. Let's see what this looks like as I change to display flex. We have our loading wrapper, we have the GIF in the middle, and now we're ready to play this GIF as a loading animation. We're on easygif.com/loop-count. And what we're going to do here is change the amount of loops that our GIF is going to go through. By default, GIFs will continue looping and looping. For this example, we want it to only loop once. There's no reason for the continuous loop. So we're going to choose our GIF file and notice how it is continuously looping in this example. It's not a continuous loop GIF. We don't want it to continuously loop. So we're going to choose it, we're going to upload, and when it's uploaded, we have the opportunity to change it to a loop count of 1. And there we go. And that's it. It loops once, we don't need it to loop multiple times, and now we can upload that file to Webflow to use in our loading animation. Let's break this code down line by line. Before our closing body tag, we're going to insert our scripts. First, we're adding the JS cookie library. We're using cookies to see if the user's been on the page in the last 24 hours. In our custom script, when the DOM is ready, we're going to define the play GIF function. Before I go into the play GIF function, I'm going to tell you why we need this function. By default, when a browser loads a GIF, it will store that GIF in cache. And when you reload the page again, it's not going to play the GIF from the beginning. It's going to play it from its last known frame. So if you load it the first time, the GIF will play in the preloader, no problem. When you load it a second time, it may play from the middle of the GIF, from the end of the GIF, and if you set your GIF to only loop one time, it will not play it at all because it will be on the last frame and it will not play that GIF from the beginning. If you have something like a continuous GIF, like a loading circle that is just moving and moving and moving and there's no defined start and finish, this hack is not for you. This is for, let's say, a logo animation like we have for the Finsweet GIF that has a start and a finish. When we load the page, we want it to start at the beginning and end at the end. So now what we're going to do is essentially trick the browser into loading that GIF every single time the page is loaded. We're not going to let it store it in cache and then grab that same file. So what this function is doing is resetting the GIF's src attribute by appending a random query string to the end of it. So what does that mean? We have our GIF file. It is uploaded to Webflow. It's a .gif. And by default, default, the browser would grab that file. However, when it loads the page, we're going to add the question mark, X, and a random string. So this is going to generate a totally random number on every single load. And by doing that, the browser thinks it's a new file, it needs to load it, and then it will always play that GIF from the beginning. So, with all of this said, please be very mindful of your GIF size. It's going to be loaded every single time. So don't add a 500 kilobyte GIF as a preloader. It's ridiculous. It's got to be lightweight, it's got to be small, it's got to have a certain amount of frames so that you are lightweight and it can load every time and you won't have any problems with internet connection and visibility of the GIF. So now we have the GIF ready to be loaded. Now let's play our loading screen only once per day. We are going to set a variable called scene GIF, and that variable is going to be the scene GIF cookie. If there is no scene GIF cookie, we are going to run this function. So this means no. If no scene GIF is there, run it. If there is a scene GIF, we are not going to run it. So as a first-time user, there's no way you can have a cookie from our site because you've never been here before. So there will be no scene GIF, and we can go ahead and run this code. So we have the Hack 6 loading wrapper. We're going to add some CSS display flex. We decided it was better to have this hack run by jQuery instead of IX2 interactions. And the reason is we have more access to this. There are less questionable pieces, and we were having a little bit of trouble tying it with IX2. So this is straightforward. You can edit this, and it's very simple. So we have it moving to display flex. We set all of our flex customizations inside Webflow, and we're just changing this with jQuery. It's easy. And then we're going to call that play GIF function. So this function we went over up here, that's nicely changing what we have as our link. We're going to run that on our Hack 6 GIF. So now the Hack 6 GIF is always changing its link with a query. And then after all of that is done, we're going to set a cookie. And the cookie is the scene GIF cookie. Great. So the scene GIF cookie is going to expire in 1 day. And now when the user reloads the page, they now have this cookie. So when we go through this if statement again, this will not be true, and we will skip this code. And skipping the code doesn't play the animation. Now we need the loading wrapper to go away. So we are going to set a timeout, and we are again going to target the Hack 6 loading wrapper, and we're going to fade it out for 500 milliseconds, and it's going to fade out after 4,500 milliseconds. So this is 0.5 seconds, this is 4.5 seconds, and this value should be the length of your GIF animation. If your GIF animation is 3 seconds, set this as 3,000. If it is 6 seconds, set it as 6,000. And that's it. Now the loading wrapper is no longer on the page. We can go through this if statement as many times as we want, and as long as we're within 24 hours, this code will not play. Okay, so that's it. We have a little bit of code here at the bottom. It does not apply to you. This is just for the hack. So this is our clear cookie button that we have on the live example. So ignore this, you don't need it. If you ever want the user to manually clear their cookies, you can use this code, but it is not necessary for a live site. And now we have our GIF playing from the beginning every time as a loading animation, and we are controlling it with cookies. Thank you so much for checking out this hack. Please clone the project. We have the entire Hacks project available for clone. Start learning how these hacks work and use them on your live site. We're always releasing new hacks, so if you want to be updated, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want a super simple plain text email when we release a new hack, sign up at finsweet.com/hacks-updates. If you want to request a hack, we'll check it out and see if it's possible in Webflow. Go to finsweet.com/hacks-request.
That's effing sweet.